Vishnu Pada Stotra Shishila Bhakti Vedanta Shri Narayan Goswami Maharaj Shri Gurudev. My same Dhanata Pranam in the dust of the Lord's feet of Shri Prabhupada. Nittali Rupadishto Mishti Pada Stotra Shishila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj. And to our whole Rupa Nuga Gauriya Guru Varga, Guru Parampara, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis that ever have been or ever will be, I offer my pranam to all the devotees of the world. Hare Krishna. So tonight is our last night in New York. Tomorrow we'll go to New Jersey a little bit, one university program, and then New Frontier. Going to Peru, first time. So last night, and we were climbing, we were gradually assembling, piece by piece, a clearer and clearer picture of reality, absolute and relative, and how to harmonize our relative existence with this body and this karma and this circumstances of our life with the absolute nature of our soul, real self. How to bring that real self awake and alive, even in the midst of time and space. How to enter into bhakti. And especially climbing. We're climbing up to the lotus feet of Nityananda Rao, Akhanda Guru Tattva, that broke open, world flooding dam buster, Shri Nityananda, Rohini Nandan, Balaram, and come here tonight to his lotus feet with his Kanaya and their gorgeous darshan, decorated head to toe with love and affection. All this beauty and opulence is love and affection of their devotees, their servants, manifested, sweet singing, sweet dancing, sweet cooking. Everything is love and affection. For devotee, life is very good because our life is made of love and affection. We're eating that thing 3 times a day. Sleeping that thing, dancing, singing, smelling, eating. These senses, just like if you have an iron bar, stick of iron, and you stick inside a blazing furnace, you keep it in there long enough and it becomes red hot. When you take it out, it shines. Even in the dark, you can use it like a red flashlight. Anything you touch will burn. That dull, cold piece of iron becomes infused with the Shakti, the potency of fire, to give light and heat. So this mind and senses, which are covering our real Atma self, they are gross, material, dull like iron. But when we submerge them, stick them in the fire of Sankirtan, in the fire of Bhakti Yoga, marinate in that Swarup Shakti, transcendental energy, then this gross, mundane, death-bound body and brain becomes suffused with spiritual power. And this body becomes something other than what came out from your mother's womb. New birth within your life. So we're looking for that. I want to be full of that Shakti. Bhakti Shakti, Swarup Shakti. I want to move, giving light and heat in a cold, dark world. And especially to enter that, the ticket is mercy. We're not bootstrap theories, adherents. We can't lift ourselves up by our bootstraps, but we can lift our voice, we can lift our prayers and our hopes. We can call down the rain of grace, especially from Nityananda Rao. So, I wanted to tell, normally we don't speak about our personal experience, spiritual experience is something that you keep. Like it's safe, you keep your wealth in the safe in the house. You don't even, or to speak of telling anyone the combination, you don't tell them where the safe is. Behind the books or somewhere hidden. There's general principle of spiritual life. Together we speak about philosophy and practice and practical things. But what comes in our heart, what special private graces we get, we don't really throw that in the marketplace. Keep it to yourself. Be a little bit miserly. But Nityananda Prabhu, he's not miserly in any respect. He's throwing himself to everyone. So, because it's practical and useful, and because I think it's for everyone, I want to share something. I just came from Vrindavan 2 weeks ago. I was there. Since so many festivals, springtime, so many festivals. Advaita Saptami, Nityananda Trayodasi, Gaur Punim, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, our Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja, our Param Guru Maharaj's Vyasa Puja. So many festivals come one after the next. But especially came the 10-year anniversary of the day that I was captured and taken hostage by my Gurudev, Nityananda Trayodasi. I mentioned yesterday I tried to escape. When I met Guru Maharaj, I thought, oh, he's very nice, his feet are very soft, his philosophy is very wonderful, but I have a spiritual life, I'm on my own quest, and independent, I don't need to sell my head anywhere. I have a direct relationship already with God, with the Supreme. It's happening for me, it's happening, something amazing is happening in my life. Why do I need a guru? Why do I need an intercessor when it's already, something is plugged in? So I tried to escape, not understanding. We can get something, on our own we can get something, some glow, some dim, distant fragrance of spiritual realization. And because we have no greater understanding, then we think, wow, this is everything. This wisp, this faint wisp on the wind of spiritual realization, now I'm enlightened. We don't know how much more light there is. Cannot imagine how much more light there is. It's beyond our imagination what enlightenment really is in the fullest blossom. So I tried to escape, and 5 days later came this day, the Divine Appearance Day, birthday party of Nityananda Ram. And Srila Gurudev just, boing, there he was, came in my heart smiling and caught me with a choti. That time full of dreadlocks. And claimed it was his. So 10-year anniversary came just now. Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day in Vrindavan. And always on Balaram's appearance day, Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day, always we do Vrindavan Parikrama. Because Nityananda, Baladev, they're the Sandini Shakti Adistapti Devata, the presiding deity of Sandini Shakti. Sat Chit Ananda, existence, knowledge, and ecstasy. These are the three prime ingredients of God's life and of godly life. Eternity, knowledge, and ecstasy. Radhikarani, she is the presiding deity, Ladini Shakti Mahabhava Swarupini, of ecstasy. Shri Krishna Chandra, Raso Vaisaha, Rasmoy Shri Krishna, embodiment of all types of relationships and fulfiller of all desires for love and affection. He is the presiding deity of Chit Shakti, knowledge. It means knowledge of relationship, ras. And Dauji Baya Baladev Prabhu Nityananda Ram, he's the presiding deity of Sandini, Sat, eternal existence. He is himself the Dham, to serve, to make the platform for Krishna's seva. Is that my phone? He manifests everything, all the ingredients. He manifests the material worlds. He manifests the spiritual world. He manifests the earth, the stones, Giriraj. He manifests Krishna's own form, Krishna's earrings. So mad to serve in every way, he becomes the earrings on the ears of the Lord and swinging to kiss his cheeks. He becomes the shoes on his feet when he goes to Dwarka and wears shoes, because in Vrindavan, barefoot. Flute, mridanga, kartal, everything, all the paraphernalia for doing puja, arti, everything, to sing a song, everything. But especially he manifested Dham, the spiritual abode. So Vrindavan Dham, that sacred forest, is Baladev himself, spread out as a platform, a playing place, a stage for Radha Krishna to dance. So we do parikrama. If we do like a spider, when the spider makes a web, and she goes around and around and around and around and around and around and around, every time she goes around, she makes that web tighter. You know, if she's only been around once or twice and there's big gaps and flies will just happily, easily go through and she won't catch anything. But the more she goes around and around and around and makes that weave tight, the spider can catch. So the more times that we go around Thakurji, around Tulsi Devi, around Vrindavan Dham, we're binding ourselves. Like when I was in elementary school, we used to play tetherball. You know tetherball? Yeah. It's like a big stick with a volleyball on a rope, and you hit it, and the other guys try to hit it the other way, and the point is to just... You bind it so tight that it can't go any tighter, and the ball just sticks to the post once the rope is... So when we do parikrama, when we circumambulate Gurudev, Tulsi, Vrindavan, we're binding ourselves. And we're making our sukriti tighter, so that when Harikatha is flowing, we'll catch more and more. In an audience of so many people with different adhikar, different level of understanding and capacity, different histories of sacrifice and dedication, who has given more, who sacrificed more, who's done more bhajan, they'll catch more. They'll hear more. They will hear things in the same words that other people in the room will not hear. So we do like that on Nityananda Prabhu, on his birthday, around that dham, which is him, hoping to bind ourselves to the dham. Let me live forever in this sacred forest. And let me live forever in the shelter of those. So we went early, just after Mangalati, maybe 4:58 a.m. Set out from the temple. It's so dark and uncommon for winter, stormy, overcast, no stars. It takes 2.5 hours or so, 2 hours if you're pushing it, to finish the circle around Vrindavan forest, around the town. And going along the way, and fully pitch dark, some places fully just walking in the dark. Every once in a while there's a flickering street light, and you get a spot of light. And it came around a particular turn, and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Come in my heart to pray, okay, don't just do everything externally, don't just do parikrama, don't just mumble your Hare Krishna mantras. Don't just do everything with your body and with your speech and externally, but do something with your heart. We can spend decades and decades practicing bhakti yoga with our mind and senses and not do anything with our heart. Heart can be sleeping. Not pushing, not begging, not praying, not seeking, not hoping. Just get behind it. Be careful for that. Confined 50 years have passed and they got nowhere. Heaps and heaps of sukriti, but not one drop of realization. So, I thought, Nityananda Prabhu, this is your special day, your birthday. Vedic culture means you give gifts on your birthday. Don't forget, don't forget. So you must be especially generous. You who are already mad, crazy, out of control with generosity, must be even more generous today. So I thought, please, if I could make even just 1 inch of progress in relationship with you. Sambandha. Without sambandha, without realization, without a taste of relationship, there's no possibility of bhajan. We can have Gurudev, but if Gurudev is far away and he's, on a big seat and he's, Jai Gurudev, but I don't feel Gurudev is mine. And I don't feel inside my relationship with him, then there's no bhajan. If I don't feel Krishna is mine, Radhika's lotus feet are my property, I just have to claim that thing. I'm on a quest to claim what's mine by eternal right, because of who I am. If we don't have that sambandha awakened, we cannot do bhajan. Sambandha really comes in the stage of ruchi, it's not cheap. But drop by drop before that, and so I pray. If I could get 1 inch of progress, permanent progress, not just like sometimes we get a little taste, a little realization, and it evaporates and goes away. If I could get some permanent stake, just a little inch, just get a pin in relationship with Nityananda. 10 years have passed to the day, and I don't really feel it. If I could get a little, that would be great. I would, please give me a little relationship with you. And as soon as I thought that, prayed that, I felt something touch my feet in the dark. It felt like a newspaper blowing in the breeze or something. Just shake your foot off, and then it touched again. Like, what the heck is that? Sometimes when you walk in the street, especially in the city here, you have a plastic bag or a piece of newspaper on your foot. You try to like shake it off, and you take some steps, but the wind is holding it on, hoping no one sees. Something embarrassing about that, like a piece of toilet paper stuck to your shoe. So I'm trying to shake it off, like, what is that thing? And I look and I can feel, it's totally dark. There's a little shadow moving around my feet, and I can feel this is a deliberate touch. And just then, passing through one street light, I saw this one tiny, tiny little puppy. Really small, new and soft, golden colored puppy. And I thought, because especially in Vrindavan, dogs, especially if you live in a temple, if a dog touches you, they roll in this, I've seen dogs eating other dogs' stool off the street. They're dirty. They're unclean, and when you live in the temple and it has to be so clean, and your cloth touches a dog in the street, you have to wash your clothes, take a bath. Something so inconvenient to be touched by a dog. It's a dog touching my feet. But he was cute, nonetheless. And moving on to the dark, I'm trying to get away, and again I feel him against my feet. He's running along, and every time I pass through a street light, he's still with me. And my legs are long, and his legs are short. So he's pushing it just to keep up with me. And somehow, I don't know him, I don't know why. And when I go on parikram, I don't like to be with anyone. I just want to chant and be absorbed in my own thoughts. And if I have even my best friend along with me, I feel like, because maybe we'll talk, and I'm thinking about them, and I can't just forget everything and be with myself in my prayer. So I don't like to have anyone with me. But this little person has invited himself and insisting to stay along. And I try to skirt away, move away, but he's just, for no reason, we never met before, it's pitch black, and he just suddenly is not leaving. And again, every once in a while, I just, close my eyes and just forget the dog. I try to stay with my prayer, stay with my meditation. Don't lose that because of this distraction. Keep your eyes on the prize. But again and again, touching. And every time I'm starting to think, that feels nice. It feels nice, he's really soft. I don't know what he's doing, he's like, I imagine that he's actually attacking. He's like, He's clawing, he's giving a little bite, but really sweetly, and staying along. And the more that he stays with me, and the more that he attacks my feet, the more that I'm concerned about him. Where's your mom? Where's your people? I can't take care of you. I can't take you back to the temple. That's not going to happen. So if he stays with me, where's his people that he left behind? He's going to get lost. He's going to be alone and small. And I'm getting more and more anxious for him, more concerned for him. More and more I'm forgetting whatever I was doing and thinking about him. And finally he keeps touching and keeps staying along. And I look at him and I start to feel happy that he's with me. I feel like, yes, I have a friend with me and he's simple and good and he's not going to cheat me. And this is great. I felt happy. And again touching and brushing and staying along and just his loyalty. He's just loyal. Just loyal. Like he loves me. I can see by the spring how he's pushing it just to keep up. And it comes in my heart. I know he's a dirty dog. He's a dog, untouchable. And I just want to scoop down and pick him up and kiss him. I just want to hold him and kiss him. just in that moment, another light comes, I see some dogs there, and he goes off and stays with the dog. Okay, good. Phew. He's got his own people to take care of. But it stayed with me because I've been doing parikrama for years and years and years. I've never had an animal or anyone like just join me like that out of nowhere. It's always like I'm absorbed and somehow I'm protected from being disturbed by anyone. I just go till I finish. And it happened to the second that I prayed for Sambandha. So I caught on. That means something, and I asked, request, please, decode, decipher, please, translate. And heart says, look, just be like that. Just be simple and affectionate and loyal. Just stay. Who's Nita? Just hold him, catch his feet, and stay. And love him. Even your dirty, untouchable, wretched, fallen, it doesn't matter. Just stay. Just loyalty will melt his heart. And Nityananda Prakash, the manifestation of Nitai, is our Gurudev, and the Vaishnavas who nourish. They're fully detached. They have such a higher taste. Vairagya, the Sanskrit word for renunciation is Vairagya. It means Vaishishtarag. They have an inconceivable higher taste. They're intensely attached to something else that's not available in this world, and therefore they're not interested in anything in this world. They're not looking for friends, they're not looking for attention, they're not looking for wealth or followers. They don't care about anything in this world because they're tasting and hooked into something very, very superior, very, very delicious. That's real renunciation. You're just too attached to something else, to God. You're too attached to God to have any room to be attached to wealth and women and the so-called opulences of material life. So they're not interested. They're not looking for friends, Vaishnavas. They don't need anything from us. They're on their way, they're doing their bhajan, they're going on their mission. We come near them and just stay near. Just come near. You find a Vaishnava who has in their heart a treasure that you need, you want, that you cannot get on your own because this bhakti thing is communicated like germs. You catch it from who has it. You find someone who has in their heart what your soul craves, and you just stay with them. You just run along with their little feet. I'm dirty, I'm fallen, I'm wretched, I'm unqualified, but I'm yours. And I'm not asking you your permission. I'm just joining you. Just be simple and affectionate and loyal. And their heart must melt because their heart is soft as butter. It has to melt. You just stay. And at first, okay, someone is there, because Vaishnavas, they see so many people come and go. Especially Gurudev, he said, I have seen, when he was speaking about Madhurya Kadambini, the stage of Nishta, and coming to Ruchi, he said, this place is so critical before Ruchi comes. He said, from this stage I have seen millions fall. It means in this universe and other universes, and Gurudev's traveling around, helping jivas all over the creation. And I've seen millions fall. Millions have come to me, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, and gone again. Back to Maya. So Gurudev is, at first, okay, Haribol, smiling and giving mercy. Giving so much, but we actually earn the faith of Gurudev. Not just that we have to have faith in our Guru, but we have to give our Guru a reason to have faith in us. And that comes over time. By staying and staying and staying. Oh, you're still here. You're still here. You're still adoring my feet. You're still loyal. And simple. Affectionate, simple, and loyal. Still, you're still there. And they're defeated by that very easily. We could just be loyal, and very easily you could defeat the highest Mahabhagavad Vaishnava and capture everything they have in their heart. The next moment, they'll reach out and grab you and pick you up and smother you with all that secret wealth they're holding inside. So I kept on my parikrama going, and now thunder's rumbling. And by now, usually the sky would be a little bit blushing, but because of the storm, fully black, fully dark blackness. And thunder's coming, and some lightning bolts are breaking across the sky. I'm thinking, better push it, better go faster. It's going to dump rain and it's cold, it's winter. You get soaking rain and have to finish, another hour of walking in the cold and the rain. You're going to be sick. So push it. And came around, finally across the Bhaktivedanta Road and past ISKCON and the bend of Barahagat, and turning back with a tree that's always full of peacocks. And the last long stretch, maybe half an hour left to go, and all of a sudden, the load was too much. The sky broke, and the rain came down. And I was like, oh, go fast. And just that moment, in the dark, there's no one, because it's stormy. Who's going to go for parikrama so early and so dark and so stormy? There's no one there, anywhere. And suddenly a voice comes. You can come under my umbrella. From nowhere. In English. And I got a hoodie on, and it's pitch black. There's no way to see that I'm a white guy, that I'm an English walla. And someone says to me in English, you can come under my umbrella. And I look, and just behind me, maybe 20 feet back, there's one shadowy figure with an umbrella. And as a rule, I don't mix with Brajavasis. Don't mix with Brajavasis, and don't mix with Caste Goswamis. That's Guru's instructions. Be careful. Don't make friends with Brajavasis and Caste Goswamis. Keep some distance. It can be very complicated, your spiritual life. So, I'm cautious. But he's speaking English to me, and it's going to dump rain. And so I come under. And as I come under that, this picture comes in my heart and my mind. You know these paintings of Vasudeva Maharaj, and he's carrying baby Krishna in a basket across the Yamuna, and it's dumping rain, and an Antashesh is spreading his hoods, giant cobra hoods, spreading like an umbrella, covering. I come under, and my hairs are all standing up head to toe, and I'm looking at this guy in the dark with his Brajavasi tilak, Indian guy. And he just looks at me and goes, disciple of Narayan Maharaj. I'm like, yeah. And my hairs are just standing up top to bottom, and I'm thinking in my heart, Prabhu, either this is you directly, or you sent this person, infused this person, but anyhow, this is your umbrella. And I just walking, chanting for a while with the rain. He saw, I didn't know what to say, and I don't want to talk, I'm trying to chant, but this mysterious person, there's no one else on the road anywhere, just in the middle of. And after a while, it rained. He said, okay, we'll stop here for a while. And he stopped, and he's on his cell phone. He becomes like, suddenly he's just an ordinary guy talking to somebody. Oh, my parikrama is spoiled, there's so much rain. Complaining about the rain. He said, the weather is so bad. And complaining, I'm like, okay. And I split, went on my way, because I want to be alone. Stay with this. And I thought, okay, that was interesting. That was significant. First the puppy, then the umbrella. That's far out. And then finally, at the very last, maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes of parikrama, come past Madan Mohan temple. Big hill with beautiful sandstone temple built by Sanatana Goswami Pad. And Sanatana Goswami Pad, his samadhi is there, and Madan Mohanji is there, and Sanatana Goswami Pad, he is the acharya of what? Sambandha. Sambandha Kya. He is that person who's the schoolmaster, the principal in the subject matter of, the professor in the subject matter of Sambandha, relationship. And his deity, Madan Mohanji, is the Sambandha Adhishtatri Devata. He's the presiding deity of relationship. And right at that moment, right in front, there's this little old Russian lady, very old. And I've seen her every time I go on this island in Yamuna. Every day when it's not pouring rain, I'm trying to get back after parikrama, I go to Yamuna and take a bath. And sometimes I see this very, really old little Russian lady. Never seen her with anyone. I'm thinking, man, year-round I see her in the summer and the winter. She must be living alone in Vrindavan, doing bhajan. No one to take care of her. And fully wrinkled like you can't even imagine, and so small, and hair just white as snow. And I'll see her like in the cold Yamuna in her gamsha taking a bath in the early morning. Whenever I see her, she'd be like, Rati Rati! Rati Rati! So I recognize her from the back. She's got a big coat on. And as I come up on her, I see she's carrying a big milk pail. And she's holding an umbrella. And on the umbrella is a picture of a puppy. So First is a puppy, then there's Umbrella Man, and then there's Umbrella Puppy. Right in front of Sambandha Adhishtaki Devata Marimo Anji. And as I pass her, I see her, I know her. I've never spoken with her ever in my life. She probably doesn't speak a word of English. I don't know any Russian. And just as I passed by, just feeling kind of inspired, and because I'm a goof, in her voice, I said, and she laughed. She said, Haribol, Haribol. I turned back just to smile, and she said, come here, come here. And she made me stop, and she brought me under the puppy umbrella. She said, hold this. She put the umbrella in my hand. And it's still completely dark and thundering and dumping rain, like severely pouring rain. And she takes this big milk bucket and she opens it up and she starts to pull a garland out of it. And it's long and long and long and huge and massive garland. It can only have come from Nitai in ISKCON, because there's no Nityananda anywhere. She goes, Nitai, Nitai. And she put it on my neck and she said, Bistro, Bistro. Which means, go fast. Now go fast. And I said, yes. And I gave her back the umbrella and just running in pouring rain. And it's just like a force coming up in my heart, just like a roar, like I never chanted like that. Joy Nitai Nityananda Ram! And as I said Ram, the whole sky exploded with light and thunder. And I really felt that Jampalampa Krita, that he's so, the clouds of the ecstasy of Nityananda Ram have spread and filled the universe. And no one can escape from the flood of his mercy. And I was just like mad with happiness. You know, being replied to, being reciprocated with. I'm asking for a relationship and immediately take it. Yes. You just be soft, simple, affectionate, and loyal. I'll give you shelter. And then you will go fast. You can run, speed, your bhajan will come. When you get the shelter of Nityananda Ram's lotus feet, Guru and Vaishnav take shelter there. Instead of being independent, I'll do my bhajan, I get my rounds done, speculating about what to do with my life, but give my life at the lotus feet of Gurudev, really. Practically take shelter of Nityananda Ram. Then you go so fast, in a moment. And that rain that you're hiding from before becomes ecstatic, transformed. We see in a moment, once we take shelter, that the entire creation is flooded with mercy. The entire creation is filled. This universe is like a globe, you know, like those shaky balls, with the planets inside. You know, the shaky balls, Santa Claus with the snow inside. It's the Brahmanda, it's a shell. And inside is water and elements and planets. And God is shaking it up and stars are spinning. You see that entire universe is flooded. That globe is full up. The Brahmanda is flooded with the ecstasy and the mercy of Nityananda. There's nowhere to go, nowhere to escape. Everywhere I turn, Thakur Bhaktivinoda says, Atmani Vedana, Dvapade Kori, Hoimi Parana Sukhi. Ever since I've offered myself to you, Atmani Vedana, cast myself at your feet, everywhere I look, I see happiness. On all sides, I'm surrounded, ambushed. I'm ambushed. There's no escape. I'm defeated. I'm defeated and conquered and taken slave by grace. So, I'm not watching the time. We were trying to speak about that this week. We were trying, endeavoring, and my endeavors are very insignificant. Trying to establish this simplest root fact that Gurudev is life and soul. And practically have to take shelter there. Take shelter. Take protection. Accept protection. Accept being fully maintained. Accept that you don't have to maintain yourself or worry for anything ever. Accept this fact. And take shelter. So, someone said at that time, that day was Nityananda Trayodasi. And my godbrother, during class, he mentioned that Nityananda Prabhu is something special. Because he's Nityananda, but inside he's in the mood of Balaram, in the mood of a cowherd boy. But Balaram, he's not in the mood of Nityananda inside. He's Balaram and he's absorbed in being Balaram. But Nityananda, he has Balaram inside both. So my godbrother was saying, inside of Nityananda is Balaram, but inside of Balaram is not Nityananda. And I became very upset to hear this. And we had a dispute about that in front of everyone. This is not true. This is not Tattva Siddhanta. We hear Balaram is the most, that Nityananda is the most merciful. Akroda Paramananda. He's never angry. He's full of bliss because he's drunk. He's actually intoxicated off his rocker, tasting such a happiness of Krishna praying. But he's not discriminating. Oh, you've done so much sadhana bhajan, you've done so much endeavors, so you should get mercy. You should get this special mercy. He's just throwing it everywhere. You come in front of him, he's going to catch you in force speed, pin you down and make you drink. Balaram doesn't have a lot of patience for any nonsense. Like he went to Hastinapur to do some negotiations with the Kurus. Samba was trying to marry the daughter of Duryodhana, and he was captured. And so Balaram came, hey, you should come on, you should let him go. And this is Krishna's son, grandson, Samba. Grandson. You should let him go and let him marry your daughter and everything. And he was like, oh. Duryodhana was insulting. But now, Krishna's just a cowherd boy. And sometimes when a person walks on the ground, dust kicks up and the dust comes on the head. And now the dust that goes under the feet means the cowherd community is less than the Kshatriyas, less than the warriors. Now wants to come on the head. Think you can just marry into a family as you like. Krishna's so nonsense to think this is acceptable. And Balaram became so furious. What? You're dishonoring Krishna to my face in front of me. I'll destroy your entire capital city. And he took his plow and grabbed the edge of Hastinapur and began to drag the entire city. I will throw the city in the Yamuna. And Bhishma started. Grandfather Bhishma was, Duryodhana, you better check your mouth. You better fall at his feet. You better correct the situation or we're all going to die right now. You don't know who this is? Balaram, a part of him is Ananta Shesh, who's holding millions and millions of universes on his head. He's Balaram, the source of all strength and power. He can destroy us in a second. So Duryodhana fell at his feet and actually became his disciple. And Balaram, not a lot of patience. Pralambasur, he came mixing with the cowherd boys. They were playing. Krishna, Balaram and their sakhas were playing in the forest of Braj in the afternoon sunlight, running. There's a huge banyan tree called Bandirvan. And the branches are so long, they make a competition. Who can run to the edge of the branches and run back first, they win. And who loses has to carry the winner on his shoulders. And so one demon came, disguised himself by mystic potency to look like a cowherd boy, Pralambasur. And he played among them, just trying to get inside and actually do an assassination. He wants to kill Krishna Balaram. First I'll kill Balaram. So playing like a cowherd boy, and he was defeated by Balaram, and Balaram climbed on his shoulder. He said, okay, carry me, let's go. And as they were running, he ran further away to the end and kept running and kept running and kept running. Balaram says, what is this? And because he's Guru can see through all of our disguises and everything. He looks at us, and no matter how much you're like, Jai Gurudev, Haribol, Dandavats, but Gurudev knows you're smoking ganja. Gurudev knows you're not keeping girlfriend. Gurudev knows that you're filthy, you're not giving anything up. You're not doing any sacrifice. And then you come and jump up and down like a big sadhu, like a big saint. And you're not. Gurudev sees everything. You can't cheat Gurudev. And Balaram cannot cheat. So when he found out this is a demon, this is a liar carrying me, what did he do? he cracked his head. Took his fist, cracked his head. But when Balaram comes as Nityananda, he gets his head cracked by Madai. And what does he do? He begs and prays for the highest good of that person. Akroda Paramananda. Never angry. Always blissful. Even when he's abused. So Nityananda has some speciality, but we are also I live with and serve Balaram. Krishna Balaram. And we're here, Krishna Balaram. So we feel, if we hear like this, oh Nityananda, he's more merciful. When Nityananda, he has something inside that Balaram doesn't have, then we become depressed, become disappointed. This tattva sucks. This tattva sucks my enthusiasm away. I don't like this understanding, so we should understand that Nityananda's mercy is not something extra. Where did it come from, this excessive mercy of Nitai? Where did it come from? Somewhere it was Balaram and then some mercy was added to him and he became Nitai? No. It's inside his heart, just not expressed. Just like we hear Radharani. She's millions of times more beautiful even than Krishna. Radhika's more beautiful than Krishna. She has more happiness, she tastes more bliss and ecstasy serving Krishna, even than Krishna, who is himself Ananda Swarup, who is himself the supreme enjoyer of all happiness and bliss. He doesn't taste anywhere near as much as she does happiness. She's more beautiful, she's more qualified, she has more virtues and qualities, she's a better singer. Krishna plays the flute and the entire world is enchanted. But when Radhika begins to play her veena, Krishna loses the tune of his flute until he falls silent and loses all understanding of the world outside of him and carried away in music. She's a better singer, she's a better musician, she's a better dancer. In every respect, she's more qualified, more beautiful, and happier. She's more than Krishna in every way. But where has she come from? Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir Ladini Shakti Rasma. What is Radharani? She is Krishna Pranaya Vikritir. She is the transformation of Krishna's pranaya, his love. Krishna's heart inside. What is hidden inside of Krishna's heart? What love is in the heart of God, hidden and no one can understand. When it comes out, that is Radha. What is she? She's the beauty of Krishna's heart. How he's wonderful, how he's affectionate, how he's an endless, shoreless, bottomless ocean of sweetness. His heart that is revealed in the nature and form of Radhika Rani. And she is transformation, not just his heart, but transformation. Like ghee. You know what ghee is, John? Yeah. So, you get milk, right? From a cow, you get milk. And from milk, you keep it in a warm place at night, you can transform milk into yogurt. You transform milk into yogurt. But yogurt is nothing but milk. But now it's something different. But it's not anything else. It's just a transformation. And then if you churn yogurt, what do you get? Butter. And butter is something completely different than yogurt. You try to spread yogurt on a piece of toast, it's just going to get soggy. You spread butter on a piece of toast, and different flavor even. But it's nothing but the same thing, but transformed. And then if you boil butter, then the fats, these impurities come separate, and the essence, the hidden essence of butter, it's also the essence of yogurt, the essence of milk is ghee. It's like golden oil. Very, very fragrant and very expensive. You get a pot of ghee like this, it's like $20.99 apparently, sitting on the counter. $20.99. You get that much milk, $3, $4 a gallon of milk. Ghee is nothing but milk, but transformed. The essence has been transformed through stages and stages, more and more fine, more and more fine. You can't cook with milk. You can't heat up milk and throw spices in it and fry and cook something. You can't use milk to administer Ayurvedic medicine the way you can with ghee. Ghee has so much more value and utility and flavor and everything. But it comes from that. In the same way, Radharani, she's the transformation, the distilled essence, the ghee from the milk of Krishna's love. Whatever is great and wonderful about Radharani is inside of Krishna, but not showing. And in the same way, all that causeless mercy of Nityananda Ram, that is in the heart of Balaram. Not that Balaram is devoid, he doesn't have. He's full of mercy. And especially the mercy of both, they are one and the same person. We can't say that Nityananda is something different from Balaram. Balaram and Nityananda, they are the same person, just wearing different clothes. And especially the different outfits they wear are Sri Guru and Vaishnava. They come in our life in the form of the saints and sadhus to teach us. Their mercy comes in the form of Harikatha and Sadhu Sangha. That is the mercy of Nityananda Ram, and that is the lotus feet of Nityananda. So I say, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. That Gurudev is Vishnu Pad. He is the manifestation of God's feet. He is the feet of God. Oh Lord, give me shelter at your lotus feet. Okay? Gurudev comes. Take shelter. So, just be simple, just be affectionate and be loyal and catch hold of Guru and Vaishnava. But transcendental persons, they're hard to understand. Just like Balaram, this Dao Tattva, Baladev Tattva, sometimes when he's in Balaram mood, he can crack a head. Crack Pralambasura's head. When he's in a different mood, Nanda Bhav, then he'll let his own head get cracked and just embrace that person and bless them. So Guru Vaishnavas, very difficult to understand. Sometimes hard as a thunderbolt. So heavy you feel, I cannot digest this. So strict, such a chastisement. And sometimes so soft, you can't imagine, it breaks your heart how they're so soft and kind. To me, so you have to think, if we want to know who is Gurudev, who is the Vaishnava, the sadhus, those transcendental persons who have manifested in our lives. Or if they haven't yet, then we should keep praying, please, Nita, give me the shelter of your lotus feet, give me Sat Sangha. Give me the shelter of a manifest sub-Gurudev. Give me that shelter. Protect me. And then I'll go fast. I'll run. Gurudev used to say, and Bhagavatam says, in this path, you can close your eyes and run with no fear to fall. Surrendered soul is like that. Close your eyes and run. Actually, the path of bhakti is like a razor's edge. One step, one flinch to the side, you can fall on your face, get cut. So much opportunity to make aparad, so much opportunity to make mistakes and offenses and disqualify myself by my own stupidity. Kick myself out of standing in line for that inconceivable wealth that's being given away free. If you can just stand in line long enough, just stay. But if we really take shelter, then you can close your eyes. Don't worry about anything. Just close your eyes and run with no fear to fall. So we're praying for that shelter. And when we get it, when we get Sat Sangha, we have to remember, who is this sadhu coming from? Who is Gurudev coming from? From Nitai, from Balaram. So sometimes expect to get your head cracked. Expect to get your false ego broken. And sometimes expect inconceivable, unthinkable, causeless mercy. You could never think I deserve this in this life. I never would have imagined I'd be getting this in this life, and here it comes like a broke open flood. Anyhow, that head cracker, or that head cracked Akroda, Nitai, Balaram, they're the same. And Gurudev, Guru Vaishnava, they're both, they're everything. Harder than a thunderbolt, softer than a rose petal. Okay? We don't know what else to say, how else to complete. We've been speaking for a week. We don't know how else to complete, but to distill this essence. Just be simple and affectionate and loyal to the lotus feet of Nita, to the lotus feet of Balaram, to Sri Guru Krishna. just catch hold and stay. Loyal means just stay. When they want to kick you out, dirty dog, get away from me. They want to kick you out, but you just stay. Just stay. And the next thing you know, they're scooping you up in their arms and smothering you with all their hidden treasure of love and affection and mercy. Put inside of you a spiritual realization in millions of years you could never earn by all of your breathing exercises and yogas and chanting, whatever you could possibly do with your strength and willpower. You'll fall short of what would be given free to a simple, affectionate, and loyal puppy. Hare Krishna. Ma, you sing one kirtan, Hare Krishna? Mohammed? Have one free mic, loose mic. I know it's a school night, everybody's got homework to do, but if there's any, it's the last time before I go away for a while. If anyone has a question, you can ask.
Hare Krishna, Hare.
If anyone has a question, you can ask. Everything clear? Krishna Das.
It's not a question, but the Mataji that you mentioned, the Russian Mataji, I haven't heard the name in the ISKCON temple. She goes there in the morning.
Yes. Sometimes I think, is this yoga Maya? Okay? Satisfied?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare